Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man.
Mohr Stories podcast. It's number 200 and something. I think you're up in the 260s at this point. Richard Emmanuel Lewis.
That is my real name.
No, what is your real name?
I've never disclosed it until now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on your Wikipedia page.
No. Philip?
Yeah.
That Wikipedia thing. Who wrote that? Some
On your-
Klansman for me?
Well,
it's all bullshit.
I think it might be because on your Wikipedia page it says Richard Lewis is Jewish. It actually
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What about the Native American part? That was nearly bullshit.
Well, I always thought you were a Southern Baptist and you learned your comedy because you were raised by such,
Yeah.
Bible-thumping people that knew the struggle.
Yeah.
But no, the fact remains you are, in fact, Jewish. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Richard Lewis's act. Never mentions it.
I don't actually say the word Jew. I'm proud of being a Jew. I'm proud. I'm just proud to be alive, Jay. To be honest with you. By the way, great studio. What is it called? The Fake Mustache.
Fake Mustache Studios. You like it?
It's gorgeous.
All the pictures of mustache people on the wall.
That woman looks very familiar.
Yeah, it's my bride.
I know.
Some weird Maxim shoot, so she signed it like as a goof. Thanks for being a fan.
She's a beautiful woman.
You're a very beautiful man. By the way,
No.
Richard Lewis, for 55 years old, you built like a brick shed house.
55? What are you, nuts?
You look, yes.
Nah,
you look fantastic.
You told me I was too thin, so you maybe.
I said
am
you
I
look
coming
thin.
down with a,
I said, are you all right?
Thin or fat? Fat. I think
Thin.
So there
I've
you
never
go.
seen an old fat person.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I see a lot of old skinny men. He's walking around.
By the way, I think I should be your Ed McMahon. I like the flow of this show.
You think you should be? You're my Ed McMahon.
I think, I'm in my 60s. I've done everything I wanted to do. I'm fucking tired.
Who's next coming up? We got some good people coming up.
I'm semi-joking because I have a tour that opens up in Israel.
Really?
Yeah, Israel, and then Melbourne, and then somewhere in the Mideast. And then
You're really going to Israel?
No, I'm just.
Oh, I don't know.
I was told once. You ever hear this? I think Lou Reed or Dylan or all these guys. They just said, don't tell the truth. I think Warhol once said, don't ever tell the truth.
Jackie Gleason was a big thing on that, too. He'd always, reinvent, create
just
different...
bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not with you. I mean,
You can bullshit with me. I don't mind.
But just to lie.
I know you're Jewish.
Forget the Jewish. What is this, a Klansman rally?
Yes.
Relax, man.
Yes.
No, But what do you think about that? When all the publicity we have to do, all these decades, after a while, it's like, why do you wear black? Because, I'm half black and half, Asian. Just say it, and they go, really? And they write the shit down.
I'm always in mourning. I'm always,
Yeah, anything like that.
I understand in high school you were Jeff Ross has a great bit about lying on your resume. Like, wow, home run king of the Negro Leagues. Tell us about that.
That's hilarious.
It's like one of those jokes. Every comedian has like a line. There's like a half dozen comedians that have a line that you're like, how did I not write that? Like, that's just too perfect.
No,
I would have hit it eventually. You have a DVD out. Any fan of comedy should definitely get Bundle of Nerves with Richard Lewis. And what surprised me was that the actual movie Drunks is in it.
Yeah, because it got screwed up distribution-wise, and I really was bummed out about it. You can't find it, you can't get it anywhere, so they put it in.
It's a great movie.
Thank you. It's a great acting movie.
Ellen Burstyn. Yeah, people don't like movies these days where you actually have to talk and have feelings. They want to see Spider-Man bounce off a police car.
I'm hip.
And
Faye Dunaway and Diane Wiest and Edward Rollins and Spalding Gray and all these, and I show up as a junkie, which I held my own, I think, but it was...
No, you did really well, and that's, that feeds into, we talk about this a lot on the podcast, is for some reason, comics, I really believe that really good comics will always make good dramatic actors. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's through generationally, that's a good word, huh? Like Milton Berle would show up on our TV show when I was a kid, and I think he won an Emmy. I mean, people can do that shit because we have a lot of dark shit, and I think, I don't know. You've worked steadily through your career, but it's hard for a lot of comics, certainly myself, to get. I mean, I had a great run and had some good shows, but I mean, you're not going to put me as you could play like Benjamin Franklin. I couldn't.
I could?
Yeah, in a second.
I've always wanted to play Chet Baker.
Really?
That's the big one.
You look a lot like him, by the way.
Let's get lost in each other's arms.
Wow.
He had that androgynous voice, got his teeth kicked out by heroin dealers.
I know.
But now I'm too old, I have a gut. It'll go to some
you
young...
have to lose about 20 pounds to play Chet Walker.
Yeah. That's
Could you do those shots of him in a Cadillac, and it's just amazing.
I'd love to play Carlin.
Wow.
That'd be a big one, but I think that's got like Joseph Gordon-Levitt written all over, Ryan Gosling written all over it. I think they do a good job at it.
I think
a lot of physicality if you play Carlin. Like his stand-up, it's very...
all the facial stuff.
Yeah, very specific, don't you think?
Yeah,
it's
very...
It's not like a guy just standing there talking.
But an amazing life he had. I mean, he went through a lot of different changes,
You too. Who would play you? Seriously, I know that's like a hacky PR question, but who, can you think of somebody that could play you? Sarah Silverman? She'd be a good Richard Lewis.
She could probably pull it off, Sarah.
She's a good actress.
She's a good actress.
Yeah.
No, she's doing great. No, I don't know. I don't even. There was a book out about 5 years ago called "I'm Dying Up Here" that talked about being a comic here in L.A. in the '70s, with all the strikes and all that shit and all the sex and drugs and rock and roll and bullshit and I thought they were going to make a movie out of it. They still might. So I was thinking about it then, but I don't give a shit.
You don't?
No, I don't give a shit. That's the only thing about getting older. I'm just glad to be here with you right now.
I'm glad. I'm like really excited that you're here.
No,
because
don't lie to your fans.
No, I wouldn't lie to you, and I wouldn't lie to my fans. And that's what's great about a podcast. It's appointment listening. They come because they like what I say, and when I have a guest, they know it's somebody that I actually like. You turn a lot of people down because you don't want, 250,000 people every Monday going like, he didn't seem like he was really into that interview.
Yeah, that would suck.
I wouldn't want that at all. So, like when I knew you were coming, I got like really fired up. Mostly because of the movie Drunks, and when I started comedy, it was like right when you popped.
Right.
And
that's right.
Menorah on a Dimmer, one of the all-time lines ever. So I'm being serious. So look, last time I saw you, let's not bullshit each other, Richard Lewis. I would file you under good crazy. There's some people that are crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little crazy.
And
I'm a drug addict and an alcoholic. I mean,
well, join the club.
Sober.
We're both friends of Bell's, brother.
Yeah, well, I've been sober 20 years, man. Thank God. I would be way dead many nights.
I get a lot of emails on my website. I'm not. By the way, nothing. I'm not going to make any shit up or bullshit you. It's like when I do stand up, I tell the audience everything I tell you is the truth. Yeah. I get a lot of. I get probably 3 a day, which is a lot. Out of if you get 20 a day, and 3 of them are like,
a lot of people
I need to get sober. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, Google search whatever town you're in, AA meetings in blank.
That's one way to go. Yeah.
And just go. And I always say you could be the best quarterback in football, but if you don't study the playbook, you're going to throw an interception. Those meetings. That's the playbook. You got to learn it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced AA a lot, and there's a lot of tools for living, but it helped, when I went, it helped me, and there's I've used other disciplines, but it certainly can save your life, that's for sure.
What was your drug of choice? What was your go-to?
It was booze most of my life, and then I lapsed into a cocaine haze, and then I bottomed on crystal meth.
You actually snorted meth, or did you smoke it?
No, I snorted it, but it was I mean...
Did you ever do stand-up on meth?
No.
I was going to say, that's the
DVD
we want to watch. Forget Bundle of Nerves. Richard Lewis on meth.
Bundle of Blow.
Let's get that at Vidiots in Santa Monica.
I would have done my set in 4 seconds.
Bundle of Blow. Great to be here. Good night.
Yeah.
You just put
great audience. Got to run.
Got to run.
Yeah, no, that was...
meth! So this is before you were actually being recorded doing stand-up comedy?
No. I mean, I wasn't going on blow. I never did. I don't think I ever did a show on coke or meth, but I almost died on crystal meth. That's when I bottomed.
How?
Well, I was holed up for about a week in my house in Hollywood, and I don't know. I felt, I felt hopeless, and everything was inconsequential and spinning around. I started freaking out about the Earth and like, what the fuck is all this about? All this dark shit. And I remember when I was a kid, I was good friends with David Brenner, and he took me under his wing in the beginning. I made him laugh, and I went to his house. He was a big star. He made a lot of bread, but I was broke, living in a shithole, but going to the clubs in New York and the Village. And I looked at his brownstone, everything in the house, even a fucking stapler looked like it was from 1940, worth about $1,000. I'm like, how the fuck? And I was living in a $140 a month rat trap in New Jersey. I said, how do you get this? I mean, I was making people laugh, but then going back to Jersey, living like I had no money. And so I said, how do you get to this point? I mean, it was unfathomable that I would actually be able to afford anything, let alone live in a brownstone on 63rd Street.
Yeah.
So he said to me, I bought this house with jokes. And I always remembered that. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So when I was holed up in my house, people were coming in and out saying, you're going to die, you're going to die. I said, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here. And just at one point, my heart was like leaping through my chest. And I said, I thought I was, for the first time, I thought I was going to fucking die. And I looked in the mirror, and I actually tell this story somewhat in the documentary about my house in the box set.
Bundle of Nerves. Go buy it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I happened to be sitting at the same place on my bed where I bottomed in my bedroom.
The same bed. In
Same
the DVD,
bed.
that's the one. Wow.
Yeah, the same bed. And I looked in the mirror and I said, I heard David's voice. He was alive at that time. This is 94. And I said to myself, I'm going to die, and I bought this house with jokes. And this is pathetic. I'm done. I got to get to the hospital before I die. It was a race to the hospital, and I called two friends, and they took me to Cedars. And a doctor said to me, what are you doing, man? I said, Richard, I was dying, but no more. I'm done, and I'm going to live. So that was it.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that, I have 20 years sober.
And how many HBO specials have you done?
Well, I did I started in about 5, and I did then 3 or 4 other types. So, I don't know, between 5 and 8, depends what you call it. If I did the full hour, it was 4, 5. I don't know, 5 or 7. But,
that's like a big deal, though, Rich.
To me it isn't, because I stopped doing them the last one I did is on here because I hated going on stage. I mean, my own style is, I just can't repeat shit all the time. And when you do specials, usually back in the day, or even now, I guess.
No, you can't repeat it.
They come to see you. Get the directors there. They want to know what you're doing. I said, fuck this. I don't need to. What do I have to do this for? I don't want to know what I'm going to say when I go on stage, and I don't. I've never did. I always used to bring notes on stage. I'm not suggesting all of it is cool, man, but you might be interested in that or not. But I used to bring notes. Like if I played a club 4 times a year, like Caroline's in New York, I'd bring notes with about 3 hours of new material every time I went there, and I'd put it on a piano. And fortunately, it worked out. But I would do a new set every 4 months. I say 3 times a year. So in the first 5 or 7 years doing those clubs in the 80s, I had TV for the rest of my life. Unless I was. So on my computer, I have about 30 hours of material. So when I go on the road, I just look at the last 3 months and just come out of the gate and do it, and until they, kill me, I'll do it. I just can't bear doing old stuff. I mean, I do some. I'm not a fucking, not Beethoven, but I mean, whatever that meant. Call in if you know what that meant.
Beethoven never repeated jokes. Well,
he didn't, and he dreamt of his fucking music.
No, and he never had notes.
Did you ever dream of stand-up? Because I have a tale.
I would dream early, before like an audition or before like a bit, like if I had to pass at like Catch a Rising Star, I would always dream that I bombed so bad.
Wow.
And then when I woke up, at first I was terrified, and then I realized that was my body's way of releasing. Then I wasn't nervous because I already lived worst case scenario like in my dream.
Right. Wow.
So then by the time I hit the stage, I'm like, I already know like the worst case scenario. So then I was able to just sort of relax and settle into it and I was still nervous, but I wasn't like nuts like how we make ourselves.
Wow.
And your list of notes, by the way, at some point it looked like a goddamn quilt. Like Betsy Ross made it.
I know.
There was 13 stars on it at one point.
What a nightmare going to particularly clubs. I remember once I was playing Caesar's Palace and I had my notes. It was about 4 feet long. and foot wide. It was like a kite.
And you could really find
Yeah.
where you wanted to be in the
Yeah, 'cause
set.
it took me
Because if I have like 4 bullet points on a cocktail napkin, I feel so self-conscious that the audience sees me, and I hide it. I'll hide it under like a Diet Coke, and I take a sip of the Diet Coke, and I look down, and there's only like 4 bullet points, like just 4 literal words, and I'm like, they all know you're looking at it.
Yeah, well,
It's like being stoned. Like, they all know you're high, man.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't care.
But you couldn't. It was a 4-foot-long quilt. You couldn't.
No. And I made jokes about it. I said, sue me. This is all new shit, and I don't give a fuck.
I just can't believe you could find what you were looking for in that chaos. It's like
I would put my hand down and look at like the circus or Fear of Intimacy, and then I would look down for 1 second. I remembered about 5-10 minutes.
Why don't you tell us about what if there was a Fear of Intimacy circus? What would it look like? Yeah, what would the big top look like?
A fucking quiz show? I don't know.
I mean, we have a good time. What am I
going to? Camel that got rid of its humps because it didn't want to screw anymore.
See? There you have it.
See? Ladies and gentlemen.
Last time I saw Richard Lewis in person, in the flesh, aside from my front lawn, before we hugged it out and we both used the restroom and washed our hands and got ready, last time, Audrey's our engineer. Every time somebody records a podcast, they hold in their laughs. God forbid America and people in Sydney, Australia know you're having a good time.
Well, she sneered at our circus premise, yours premise, and in my incredible
We know it's good. She's a civilian.
She blew off her humps because she was afraid to feel intimate with her lover.
Now it's a female camel, so now it's a whole other level. First it was just a camel, then you added female just now. I like where this is going. Yeah.
We're tweaking it.
Who comes out of the car in the Fear of Intimacy? They all fly out of the car because they're freaked out. They're sitting too close to each other. I think this bit sucks, and it's all my fault.
Well, look, I tried to go with it.
You did, and that's why you're brave. You sin bravely.
I do, don't I?
And you learn that
because you're the star of the show, and you're Jay Mohr. I don't want to fucking
I'm the facilitator, man.
Huh?
I'm the facilitator. Whoever's sitting across me is the star of the podcast.
Please, we're in a fucking garage. It's 110 degrees. I'm going to fucking die here. It'll be on the news.
Well, I'm not the one that's dressed in fucking layers in case it dips below 80.
Well, I thought...
Los Angeles in August. Richard Lewis wearing a long sleeve turtleneck sweater like he's a fucking beatnik. Like, Jesus Christ. What are you, Ginsburg? Why are you dressed like this?
I forgot it was you in the garage, and I'm
vest.
allergic to the heat. I'm shrinking. It's like unbearable.
Wearing a vest.
Huh?
You look like you should be carrying a tray of rolls to a table.
So I had this dream.
Okay.
I dreamt when I was living in a someone's house. I was 24, working the clubs in New York, and I dreamt that I was at Shea Stadium, and I did an entire set. And I woke up, and the place went fucking nuts. And I would wake up literally and wrote it on a yellow pad. Went back to sleep, and I dreamt. And by the end, I woke up in the morning. And I went, wait a minute! I wrote 20 things down in my dreams, in my sleep. I woke up, write a joke down, and I said, if I can, I thought I was like a god or something. That God is channeling jokes for me. I thought it was like I would be a miracle man, and I would never tell anybody the secret. So I looked at the pad. I thought I was like some kind of fucking saint or something. So I looked at it, and they were all non sequiturs. It was like Blender Y, shirt head. It was all fucking nutty dream.
The Blender Y shirt head chunk.
Yeah. It was 20 of those things.
But in the
look
dream,
at me,
you had
lips.
a whole...
Yeah, they were screaming. Lips, earwax. I was so I went into such a deep funk for about a week because I thought I was.
You should have brought those notes on stage on top of the old notes and said, "I got new material."
Hey, it's nice to be here in Boston.
I don't need you,
lip
people.
wax, nose cues,
and if they don't laugh, you go, "I don't need you. I played Shea Stadium last night." What's the matter with you people? Smarten up.
Bounce back from the camel shit.
You and I.
What a bounce back.
We're a team.
Who
Johnny
can we play?
and Ed.
I could play. You could put on 150 pounds and play Lou Costello, and I'll play Bud Abbott. Did you like them when you were a kid?
Loved them.
Really?
So much.
I guess I did too,
I like Buddy Hackett played Lou Costello, and Buddy was my guy.
What are we near Chinatown? What is that music?
Yeah, it was. We're across from Santa Monica High School where we're recording this.
I like Santa Monica. It's a nice area.
You can actually hear the high school band. People like that though. Like you have musicians in here, and they're telling like sad stories of when they got their shit together.
Right.
Excuse me. Yeah, we might have to actually close this in a minute.
Then I'll fucking perish, really.
You'll schwitz.
Yeah. This is crazy.
But people, it's ambient noise. I keep it real. What do you want to go to some goddamn studio and sit down with headphones?
Yeah, I wouldn't have a rash on my ass if we went there. I would have followed you anywhere to wear for air conditioning.
I would not have had a rash on my ass.
That's my new album.
That is it.
Good night, everybody. Please come back. This engineer, by the way, is my favorite.
Audrey?
Audrey, you're a sweetheart.
Audrey's a good gal.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yes, she does.
And laughter is not in your family has outlawed laughter.
No,
and that's fine.
She's Asian. Not rolling.
What did I say?
Asians.
What did I say?
You said her family, and I'm just letting you know.
I didn't mention her nationality.
Well, I thought maybe by looking at her, you didn't think she was black.
I wasn't going for black. I wasn't going for Native American. I was talking to a woman.
I don't know if laughter.
I'm colorblind, babe.
You are colorblind.
Yeah.
You had no idea. The whole Jackie Robinson thing completely lost on Richard Lewis. Why do they keep retiring this guy's number? Who gives a shit?
You're on a roll now. That
This is it. I'm sitting across from a comic that I love. We get to play ball. That's what we want to do, right?
This is the name of this show.
Have a ball. Last time Intimacy Circus, Fear of Intimacy Circus. Last time I saw you, Richard
the
Lewis.
heat's making me like. I think I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Well, I got some Klonopin.
And you get that? Do you?
Yeah.
And then I might need that. There's a siren and a band. And the engineer is, who I love, by the way. You're a sweetheart. I want to think that. I mean, you seem like a very lovely woman.
I try.
Okay.
She tries.
All right. I'll try. Yeah.
What most is freaking you out that I can help with?
The bands.
Do you want me to close the garage door?
No, it's too hot in here already. It
is, but you're dressed like.
I'm not going to get down to my fucking underwear. I mean,
why not? It's hot.
I know I could, but I'm just going to hope I can.
What about circumcised? Let's touch tummy sticks. Let's do it.
Maybe if I come back in the studio.
Your uncomfortable zone. Holy smokes, tummy sticks. Me and you hanging out in our underpants. That's not something you want to goof off with.
Not now.
Look, I want to tell you this. The last time I saw you,
Yeah,
when I was 22. Last time I saw you in person was at a hotel in Hollywood.
Really?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
I won't say the name of the hotel unless you feel like spilling it later. I'm staying there. Literally, my wife and I go, okay, we got kids. We got a long weekend. Let's send the kids to their grandparents. Let's just stay in a hotel in town like we're hiding.
Right.
And that's it. And I go, oh, all right, we're there for like a day. I go to get something out of the car. I walk past the business center, and very famous guy sitting at the one computer at the business center, which, by the way, is like fancy word for the desk behind the front desk lady's desk. And it's you. I look at Richard Lewis, so I walk in feeling like we've known each other forever because we're comics.
Right.
And I go, what are you doing? And you're like, I can't do this shit at home, man. You were working out all your material on a computer at the business center at this hotel.
Was I really?
You don't remember this?
No.
I'll say the name of the hotel and we'll take it out. Or unless you don't give a shit.
No, I mean, I don't know. Was I...
Peninsula Hotel.
Oh, wow. It's a great hotel.
It is a great hotel.
Yeah.
You can't never get a room there. There's only like 40 of them. But the thing is, you were at the business. I'm like, are you staying?
How did I see you in the business? I mean, I went there a couple of times.
I was walking past the front desk, and I go, fucking Richard Lewis is sitting right there. Like, I got to go say hi. Like, this is a Hall of Famer. I'm being serious.
No, that's very nice.
And I walk in, and you turned around, and it was like walking in on like a CEO of Microsoft, like 4 hours before his presentation. You're like, I got to get all this stuff down on a file. And I go, well, don't you have like a computer? You don't remember this at all, do you?
No.
I go, well, don't you have like a home? And you're like, yeah, but it's, and you never said why.
Wow.
You just kept saying to me like, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't know. Like, if I work at home. Did you get thrown out? And you're like, no. Nothing like that. Happily married. God bless. Everything's great. Got a great wife. Got the house. I go, well, why are you doing all your stand-up in the business center?
Suspect.
And you kept going, you know. Yeah, you know what? You
Shit
sit at a
happens,
computer you're at the, it's business center, So I still don't know. Why?
I'm sober, but I have no fucking memory bank anymore.
That's okay. But why were you doing stand-up comedy?
I shouldn't have. I usually bring my notes with me. I must have had and I have a decent, really good marriage. I said decent, but I like to underplay it. But
you were doing something like you were taking all of your new bit, like you just said you have 30 hours of material in your computer.
I probably do. Yeah,
so you were like you were throwing in like the new 45 in your computer. It was basically the gist of what I got from it.
Right. How long were you standing there? Wasn't your wife upset? I mean, you were standing. You got all this information. I
had to go to the valet. It takes a long time for them to pull the car around.
Oh, you were leaving?
No, I had to get something out of my car. I said that in the beginning, but you weren't listening because you have sweat in your eyes.
I had sweat in my eyes?
Right now. Richard Lewis is sweating.
Babe.
My garage is hot.
It's 110 degrees.
Yeah,
I'm allergic to heat. I'm allergic to heat. If I had known this, I still would have come because it's you, but I would have had an oxygen or
what
been
kind
in
of a Jew is allergic
I would have been
to
in
heat?
a plastic bubble. Stop with the Jew stuff.
The point you brought it up, and Klan, you brought both up.
No, I had to. Anyway, let's
you really hate the heat, huh? Englewood, New Jersey, the most humid place on earth.
You win a picking me to death here, man.
No, I'm not picking you at all. I'm picking you up. I want people to buy your DVD, Bundle of Nerves. It's great.
Bundle of Nerves.
You get the movie Drunks. Faye Dunaway.
Yeah,
first of all. Diane Wiest. I worked with Ellen Burstyn's in it.
No.
Like I said, you don't want to see
Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Luke Gehrig, Ellen Burstyn.
Luke Gehrig.
And
Wow.
Chippy Sales.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
The good news is we're going to name it after you.
Thank you.
Poor Luke Gehrig.
I know. Isn't that something?
So, yeah, the movie Drunks was exceptional. And it's the fact that you got... This is why I keep harping on it, is when you make a movie, it gets absorbed by some studio, and anything you want to know about said movie or times or how many theaters are we on, the studio just goes like, we're a studio, you're a human being, kick rocks, leave us alone. You actually have the movie with all these stars with like great acting in it on your DVD Bundle of Nerves with like stand-up specials and the original house that you were like coming up in, the meth bed as we'll call it now.
Right. And Diary of a Young Comic, which is preempted Saturday Night Live. It was cool. I know you.
It's really cool.
You know, I didn't read that book, which I'd be interested in, but everyone has the book about your 2 years on.
I'll give you a copy before you leave.
Yeah, I'd love to read that.
We'll make it out to Rich. Or Richard.
Richard.
Babe. I'll make it out to Babe.
Yeah, stay off of that meth bed.
No, no more meth beds.
Sounds like an episode of Breaking Bad.
A very special What's Happening when Raj and Rerun get addicted to meth. I'm making this up as I go.
Oh, cool.
You're pretty gullible.
Huh?
You're gullible. Your friend Carol Leifer was here a couple weeks ago.
Is she gullible?
A couple times I said something and she was like, really? I'm like, no.
No, she's very bright. I'm a fucking moron.
No, you're not. You can't be. I don't think there's too many moron comics, do you?
No.
So then,
but I don't feel very great about myself, so I don't, I've stopped reading. I used to be a voracious reader, and I stopped. Have you found that to be true about yourself? I mean, we're so busy coming up with stuff to be on stage. Every time I'd be sitting down and getting into a book, and I go, why? I should really be looking at my stuff and writing stuff. Although I don't write.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, my wife writes probably, well, now at this point, more than half of my act. She's a horrible insomniac, and I'll wake up. The listeners know this. I'm telling it for like the 15th time, but for my friend Richard Lewis, I'll tell you. And she'll have she just won't sleep for like 48 hours in a row. Wow. And she gets punchy, so she just puts pen to paper, and she'll be like, have you ever noticed when people get murdered, they say they lit up a room, like no matter who they are. Mm-hmm. And then I just go on stage and just tag it. So that becomes like 20 minutes.
Wow,
so
cool.
I don't ever really stress about, like you just said, about writing the material, because I only write. I just say things that have happened to me.
Right. Well, I'm sort of similar like that.
People get mad if I don't do Walken, Norm Macdonald, Tracy Morgan, Al Pacino. I got to do the impressions, or they get mad.
Right.
So no, I got 15 minutes that I don't have to worry about at all.
Right.
It's like the Eagles. All right, we know we got Hotel California in the back end.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
And then she writes half, and then no, I don't have that thing that you have. That
I have to pour over all those premises that I'll never wind up doing 90% of before I'm gone.
Why not? Here's a suggestion, and I'm being completely serious.
Yeah.
Why not take your premises are in folders?
Yeah.
How many folders? Around
50.
Okay. Why not take one folder and just go from the halfway mark up,
right, and
only work on those, and don't do a goddamn thing about your act until those have been fleshed out?
That's a great idea. My wife tells me that all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So me and your wife have a lot in common.
No,
we both love you, and we want you to be
less stressed.
Yeah. Why are you so stressed?
Why are you looking at 20,000 premises and you're only going to wind up doing 60, and you're going to forget all the shit you spent 50 hours on? She's right. It's my process. I don't know. It's a little old. I'm a little old.
There's no one way to greatness. Greatness is the way, Richard Lewis.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Gandhi's nephew.
Yes.
Oh,
Richard Lewis.
I forgot that you do. I do no impressions, but
no, Gandhi's my big one.
I'm stunned how quick you.
Well, I want to tell you about this on my website. Do you have a website?
Yeah, but it's not fluid like yours.
How do you know mine's fluid? You never seen mine.
I heard about it.
Oh yeah,
the deli.
Word on the street.
Greenblatt's delicatessen. They were talking.
Greenblatt's, not Jerry's. Nobody's talking.
No, they don't gossip about comedy.
They're talking about Saved by the Bell reruns at Jerry's. Greenblatt's is where the real show business shit goes down, right? Oh, to make Richard Lewis laugh, I really one of my most favorite moments, buddy.
Left field. That's one of the reasons I love being with comedians. It makes
me
life
too.
worthwhile.
And
Saved by the Bell reruns, which was a very popular show. Even in Italy, they have it there.
Right, but definitely the guys at Jerry's Deli are the ones that were staff writers.
It's a good chance
because you could tell because they're wearing the hats.
Well, Greenblatt's is Hollywood. It's more twisted, man, and ex junkies and guys who got fucked over by a studio, and they're wearing berets and shit and eating
berets,
spinach pancakes, and they got shit in their teeth. And they go out and smoke, and they come back and have some chicken soup, and then they put something in it, and they complain, they get it off, they get it free. It's good. It's like a whole fucking movie going on there, particularly late at night.
Why don't you do a documentary about that? Why don't you get into?
Why don't you do it and let me produce it? You're very viable right now.
I'm viable?
Yeah,
I'm doing fucking AM radio.
Hey, babe, I'm in a fucking garage having a heart attack. You know what I mean?
Right, but you're gonna get 200,000 people buying a DVD. Like, this is where you want to be.
DVD...
What are you gonna do? Go on Good Morning LA, where people are ironing their shirts before work? Like, this is appointment listening.
Hey, why do you think I'm here? I flew in from Nova Scotia to do this show.
That's a tough flight.
It is.
Layover in Halifax.
Have you ever played Australia? I would never be on the air for 15 hours like that. And
I couldn't either. Especially when I land, the first thing I see are white people that speak English. To be on a plane for a day and a half, and a guy goes, "Hey, how are you? Did you get your bags?" Like, no, I better see somebody with teeth coming out of their cheeks.
Oh, you want like Aboriginal stuff?
Yeah, I want some crazy Bushman picking me up, and I want to ride back to the village on piggyback.
The fact that you even know they're called Bushmen is quite a testament to your intelligence.
On my website, I have a whole blog about
a Bushman blog.
But on my website, there's an Amazon banner, Richard Lewis, and this is very important because this is the lifeblood of the podcast. If you want to support this podcast, obviously, if you want to support Richard Lewis, you buy Bundle of Nerves, the DVD, three DVDs. In the DVD, and I was fired up when I got my advance copy. Thank you very much, sir.
I hope I get some.
I have an Amazon banner on my website, so if you want to go to Amazon, instead of going to Amazon, go to jmohr.com, click the Amazon banner. Oh. That takes you to Amazon, and then I get like a little kickback, goes right to my kids' college fund. I never see a penny of it, so they can actually buy Bundle of Nerves going to jmohr.com, clicking the Amazon banner, going to Amazon.
Like that, I'm helping your kid too.
Yes, you are. And here's the other thing. And by the way, when you tuck them in, for a guy, do you have any kids?
Just a dog, a Maltese mix rescue.
First of all, that's batshit crazy when people say that. Do you have any kids? No, but I have dogs.
Why?
Okay.
I should know. Yeah, because I'm embarrassed. I don't have children. Because I killed my father's name. Don't you get it? I killed my father's name. It's over.
How did you kill your father's name?
Because my brother's not married. I never got married. Older brother, and I'm not going to have children. I got married too late.
Right, you could be like Tony Randall. He's
I don't want
bull semen at like 80 years old.
I can impregnate someone, but I don't want to. It's late. It's too late.
Too late.
It's too late. We had a 4-year window, and I didn't.
I want you to go upstairs right now, and I want you to get my wife pregnant. She's ovulating.
Right. Okay.
All right. No, I'll cover. I got to read this ad. So you go up there. You're quick.
Nah,
go to jmohr.com. Click the Amazon banner.
You're better in bed. I heard about that.
Oh Jesus! You kidding me? My poor wife.
Why?
I last like 16 seconds. It's horrible.
I last 18 seconds.
See, you're better than me.
I am. All right, I'll go. Where's she? What room?
The bedroom, I'm guessing.
Oh. She doesn't come down at all?
No, she comes down a lot, but it's bedtime.
Can't we dance first before we fuck?
Do I have to dance?
Yeah.
Sure, whatever you need.
No, not. Oh, you'll dance and then we go to and screw? No, but I love your wife. Your wife's gorgeous and you're very happy and you got a beautiful kid and kids.
I last about 16 seconds. I get cramps.
Are you back on the penis thing? Fine.
Well, excuse me?
No, I mean, you're talking about intercourse? Fine. I can.
No, I'm telling you
I used to be a great lover.
Bed.
I used to be a great lover.
What happened, honey?
I actually felt that I was going to die in bed and have a heart attack. So it made me think about myself while I was making
your own mortality overcame
my orgasm. Orgasm. Nice. Who called
some folks call it orgasm. No, she's got the libido of like a 15-year-old gay boy. I have the libido of like an 80-year-old Jewish woman. I'm like, what's the mishigash with the right to it? Can't we talk? You can't kiss my neck. Are my nipples on an island by themselves? They don't get attention? Listen, Richard Lewis, quickly. Yeah. Email me what you bought at jmohr.com using the Amazon banner, like our good friend Chris in Saratoga, New York. I think New York. JJ, I manage a 3-state... Oh, listen to this, Rich. I manage a 3-state territory in Massachusetts, Vermont, and upstate New York. I don't know how he manages this. It's a big restaurant if he does.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in the car listening to Mohr Stories and Jay Mohr Sports and laughing my ass off. You provide me a valuable service, pal. And to show you my appreciation, Please accept my humble contribution to the kids' college fund. I did the right thing. Or as Harvey Keitel would say, he did the right thing. I clicked through jmohr.com to the Amazon banner. I ordered some all-weather floor mats for the new ride, a spare baby seat and base, new baby boy to ride safe in my car in style. That's right, Jay Mohr's. When I slap my belly, my wife gets pregnant. We were just talking about that at times.
Wow.
I'll make sure to order tons of baby supplies through your site.
What about my box set? Nothing. Nothing going.
No, well, this guy emailed me this like a week ago.
I did.
It makes me feel great. Keep killing it. Always be undeniable, man. Chris in Saratoga. Richard Lewis, why don't you say hi, Chris in Saratoga?
Chris, you rock, man. You're buying all that good stuff. I used to buy stuff like that when I was about 25 and 30, and it was a lot of fun. But now
baby seats? You bought a lot of baby seats?
Yeah, I just used to fantasize having a kid. Now, no more.
That's why you use the Amazon banner. Richard Lewis might say your name.
How can I use the Amazon? I go home and just buy anything and use your banner? What do I get?
Go to my website.
Yeah, what happens?
And then click, there's a big whole like Amazon rectangle.
So if I buy an air conditioner?
Anything.
And I go through your banner, you get a kickback from Amazon?
Yes.
So why shouldn't I buy everything to help you out and your child?
That's the exact point. You should.
Can anybody get a banner? Anybody?
Most podcasts do.
Wow.
But mine goes to my kid's college. I don't fuck around. I'm not buying goddamn jet skis with it.
Well,
Adam Carolla, it all goes up his nose. He's goddamn coke fiend.
Oh, gee.
I don't want you to be uncomfortable. We're very good friends, and that was an inside joke.
Oh,
I don't want you to think I was actually like saying something horrible at Adam Carolla.
Is he loaded when he does his show? Probably.
Yeah, on meth, coke, and Christ knows what all.
White all.
White all.
So glad. Do you ever fear that you're going to go back to the fucking doom and gloom?
No, I don't. You and I share nothing in common other than the ability to sort of move a room. And you.
Well, that's a slam, isn't it? You hate me.
No, you fascinate me.
What am I, a fucking goldfish?
No, but like there's so many people that wake up. Like, do you wake up depressed when you wake up and you first get
anxious?
Anxious?
Yeah.
Oh, like you just woke up.
What do you mean?
Like, how do you get anxiety before you even know what time it is?
It just hits me, and then I think it's called free-floating anxiety. Honest to God.
No, I know all about it because I have panic disorder, and I've battled.
So I mean, I'm cool now, but every now and then, like the slightest thing, I deserve that. Oh shit, this broke. Boom. Then all of a sudden, like I go, why even fucking start the day? Luckily, I got a wife with a fucking great attitude, and she helps me get out of it.
I want to talk about depression, but I also want to talk about you working with Jamie Lee Curtis. I want to talk about you working with Don Rickles, and also my wife.
Larry David. I was way.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
You and my wife shared a dressing room. You missed each other by a couple of weeks, and it was a very fascinating story. Listen to these commercials, and we're coming right back with Richard Lewis.
First Sunday of the NFL season is in the books. How did your fantasy team do? Did you win cash? No. With FanDuel, you can. Tonight, FanDuel is running a special Week 1 Monday Night Football contest. You can play today and win money tonight, the leader in one-week fantasy football leagues. For real money, immediate cash payouts. You can get paid. The money is real. The entry fee is only $1. No season-long commitment. Play each week or whenever you want. Pick the week you want to play. Set a new lineup for tonight and win money if you're good enough. Tonight only, pick players from just the Monday Night Football games and win real money in your account tonight. As soon as the contest ends, you must sign up by 6 p.m. Eastern Time tonight for guaranteed entry in tonight's contest. Go to FanDuel, D-U-E-L, FanDuel.com. Click on that microphone in the upper right-hand corner and use my promo code STORY, as in Mohr Stories, S-T-O-R-Y, STORY. Sign up now. New user special. FanDuel is going to match your first deposit, dollar for dollar, up to $200. That's up to $200 free. The offer is good for the first 50 podcast listeners that go right now to FanDuel.com and enter my promo code STORY. Don't forget to use my code STORY. FanDuel.com. Every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today.
All you ladies and gents out there enjoying the smooth sounds of the interwebs radio, Geico's got a special dedication to make. This one goes out to the inventors of the mouse. Because of you and your rodent-inspired design, people can click on over to Geico.com to pay their bills, manage their claims, and live lives of pure savings. Mouse Masters, you've clicked your way into our hearts for good. Enjoy this next song. It's going out to you. Geico. 15 minutes could save you hundreds on car insurance.
We love hearing from you, so keep on sending your tweets and comments. We do read every one of them, and don't miss the chance to take our very important listener survey at podcast1.com. Your responses will help us to make this show the very best it can be. It'll only take about 3 minutes of your time, and you'll get the instant gratification that comes with knowing you helped us out. You can tell us how you really feel about the show. Help us get to know you better. Do it now. Take the survey at podcast1.com. That's podcast1.com, and keep those tweets and comments flowing.
We did the Business Center.
We could talk about these characters, man. I have Kate Keitel, Joe Pesci.
All right, Richard Lewis. You talk about waking up and being, free-floating anxiety.
Yeah, how do you like that?
But you also, you talk about it on stage a lot.
Yeah,
that you suffer from depression.
Right.
And I always, you asked me. That's why I'm going.
That's cool, man.
Like, you always make it about yourself. Well, that's my name's in the title. When I always think things are going to work out, which is very counter typical depressed person.
Right, generally speaking.
Like I don't celebrate not having a flat tire. Does that make sense? But then when the tire gets flat, we go batshit.
I get it.
But you wake up and you how long have you battled? I mean, you're are you ever not going to battle depression?
Yeah, absolutely. There are many days I don't, but it's still hard to. I got to work at it. It's more. I have more of an obsessive compulsive disorder than the depression now.
With numbers?
No. It's more like I got to do this. Let's say I have. Let's say I have like a show to do, and all of a sudden I can't find my sunglasses, and I just want to relax and look at my notes. But I'll spend an hour looking for the sunglasses, and then a couple other things will come up, and all of a sudden I realize I wasted 2 or 3 hours, and I say I just want to find this thing and find that and find. I mean, I don't do this every fucking day. I'm not, I'd be hospitalized if I was like that. But it's debilitating when you fuck the sunglasses. You got audience is going to be there in 5 hours. Just relax, sit down, chill out. You're lucky you have a show. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life, and fuck the sunglasses. And I talk out loud like that, and then it's a battle.
But you literally will not go forward with your day until you find the sunglasses.
Yeah, and absolutely. But I have to really, cut it short. But it's still in my brain somewhere. Where the fuck were those Ray-Bans, man?
Now a lot of people listening to this, Richard Lewis, are going to go, "Well, that's fucking crazy."
Yeah,
and you and I were talking on my lawn. About mental health, no, first of all, we know it's fucking crazy,
right?
And if we could do something about it, we would completely do something about it. I was just at about a month ago. I was at the Ontario Improv, and I got to the club. I like to have an orange Gatorade. I like to bring it on stage.
Right.
That's just what I like just like you with the sunglasses.
Right.
And I got to the club, and I was like, I got to go to the gas station. They're like, well, we're starting. I'm like, I don't have my orange Gatorade. And I hear the guy go, please welcome.
Wow.
And I walk on stage like my heart pounding.
Wow.
Because I don't have a stupid orange Gatorade with like a cartoon picture of Peyton Manning on the side, with that stupid lightning bolt.
Right.
But it was just that weird, we set these things of comfort up that we like, that settles into this. My manager, Barry Katz, has such a great expression. You just don't spook the thoroughbred, man. Don't spook the thoroughbred. We just look, all you guys like you and me, we run in a circle and we're pretty much faster than everybody else. That's why we've been at it a while, and that's why we do the size rooms that we do.
Right.
Just let us fucking run in a circle. Don't fuck with us.
Is that what you're saying?
If he needs fucking sunglasses on the walk from the paddock to the gate, make sure he has his fucking sunglasses because he's got to run a certain way.
That's right.
So I understand, but I'm letting the listener in. We know it's crazy.
Right.
But it's the most confounding thing of depression and how your body, especially alcoholism and the disease, how every once in a while it'll tap you on the shoulder and go, yeah, you're fucking 44. Just do coke. Just do it.
Oh,
just try it.
Yeah.
Because I've never done it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm always like, just do it once and then don't do it. I don't entertain it long.
Right.
But there are people that maybe not in the program, not with a bunch of phone numbers they can call at any given moment, that are like, yeah, fuck it, I'll try it. It really is this crazy, as Tom Cruise would say at Jerry Maguire, up at dawn, pride swallowing siege that I could never fully tell you about.
God.
I admire your sobriety, brother.
Well, thank you. And right back at you. I admire your ability to do impressions.
Now let's talk about Rickles, of course. Richard Lewis, Jew. Anyway, You did Daddy Dearest with Don Rickles, and for some reason that only lasted like 1.5 episodes. I think they actually canceled it in a commercial break.
Well,
8 episodes?
About 11 or so. What's
11. How? That's a dream scenario.
It was marked
not for you, for everybody. Like for the audience. I mean, a network goes, we have Don Rickles and we have Richard Lewis.
Yeah, I thought the same. My friend and I came up with the idea, but the bottom line is...
Who was the friend?
Richard Dimitri. He was a great writer and a stand-up. Now he's doing other things as well, but it all got lost in the shuffle, our vision, and Don really, once he got on the stage again, he didn't want to fucking do it.
Really?
Yeah. He wasn't... He was like, my age then, and now. And he was like, he was used to the road and the touring in Vegas and with Sinatra and the whole thing. And he didn't need it. He didn't need the money. He couldn't bear the rewrites every second. Every night, in these shows, there's a different script.
And standing around waiting for lights to be fixed.
Well, it's not just that. It was the lines. He hated it. He said, I don't need this. I have to one day bring over, just watch it with you. In fact, it's on YouTube, the Daddy Dearest outtake reel. It's astonishing.
Tell me a couple.
Well, you just see him destroying. It's like it comes in 9 parts. It's an hour, and it's fucking worthwhile. It's like one of the fun. And when I saw it at the rap party, I said, "This was the fucking show. It would have been a breakthrough show, like no show. Just him. I wouldn't have cared. I just destroy everyone in your sight. The cameraman, the audience, the guest stars. He took no prisoners because he was overcompensating for his lackluster way of committing to a script and a show and the cast and the crew. So he wanted to get laughs because he couldn't get it with the material anyway, probably, as I look back. But
if you think about it like today, that show would probably get sold. Like it's a sitcom. It's in front of a live audience, but then every once in a while, the father's just going to look out and make fun of the audience.
Right, exactly.
Like that would actually probably, it would be groundbreaking. But one thing you and I both know, one thing a network never wants to hear is, this has never been done before.
Yeah,
that scares the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But it takes you 20 years to realize, I should stop saying this in the pitch meeting. They keep running. They want to go, it's Cheers and MASH.
You're right.
If there was a bar in the Korean War, this is really your show.
You're right.
And then meanwhile, you just sell them the Jersey Shore when they're not looking.
Right. They like to copycat everything. That's always been the way. They have to play it safe, but not the cable companies, man.
What would Rickles do? Like, you got to give me something. Like, give me something.
How about
nuts.
this? He was walking in New York, and a homeless guy came over to him, and Don stopped, and Don put his hand in his pocket, and he took out a 20, and he said, "Here," he said, "buy yourself a fucking ranch." Okay, and the guy took it and put it in his pocket, and then he put his hand out again. He said he doesn't curse much. He said, "Buy yourself a ranch." Here, buy yourself a ranch. I don't do it. So the guy took the money, and then Rickles says, and then the homeless guy said back to Don. He says, he put his hand back out after he pocketed the 20. He says, "I'm going to need some fucking cattle." And Don just lost it. He was speechless for the first time I ever saw him, and he gave him, like $100, But it's funny, I visited him in Vegas once during that, and it was really trippy, seeing him open for Frank and hanging with him. As terrifying as it was for me to be in a show that was going down, and I knew Don wasn't happy about doing it, he shouldn't have committed to it, and, hanging out with this Rat Pack guy, this legend, for 6 months, I laughed all through the fucking pain. And when you see the outtake reel, you can see the anxiety in my face, like, fuck. In fact, I thought I had a heart attack once. Because, I've studied acting, and I wanted things to work out, and it was, initially my show with my buddy, and it got all screwed up, but that's a whole other deal. But you can see me really being upset on the set, but then you see me just cracking up what am I saying?
Mercilessly.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't sleep last night.
You don't
like
have
your
to.
wife. And it was just... she's home now, huh?
Huh?
She's always home, writing for you.
Yes. And it's great when you're sleeping with the writer.
Huh?
It's very easy. I mean, it's insane. And it always works. Like, if I go up... like, guys got to, like, feel it out. Like, if she writes it, it works.
Know what I'm thinking right now?
What's that?
I am sort of tired. And we're in the garage, and it's, I have a boil. I didn't want to discuss it before.
You
just
want
from
my
the
wife
show.
to pop your boil?
No. But the fact that I what was the word I
mercilessly.
Mercilessly. I'm totally. I feel illiterate. Mercilessly.
There you go, buddy. You got it.
Yeah, but I feel
very
like
famous Civil War general.
I feel like Elephant Man right now.
Well, you don't look like him. You look great. You look like $1 million.
No, I know. You
Green
told me I was
wrinkled.
You told me I was.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Anything But Love.
Right,
that show went a little longer. That was very successful.
4.5 years. And dig this, man. It's all good being in the business and making a living at it. I'll be the first to say that. But we had a show that was only about. We got picked up for 22 episodes. And I had friends who were executives there. And for whatever reason, usually you know this better than anybody, when the show gets picked up, everyone goes out and they fucking party and 22 episodes and you're counting how much money you're going to make and everything else. They canceled the show. The studio canceled the show. Didn't tell. And if we would have gone 22, we would have made everyone, the cast, the crew, everybody would have made a ton of bucks. And we just needed 11 more shows for 100. So instead of doing the show, whatever reason they had not to do it, they not only didn't tell Jamie Lee, she was the star of the show, I was the co-star. We drive to the studio with our script for a read through. Usually in sitcoms, you have the first day you come there with everybody and read everything. You know this. I'm telling your fans, and then everyone, the producers listen, the writers, and you go home. It's an easy day. So we're there. We park next to each other. We walk into the soundstage, and we see the crew coming out with wood and props and shit, and they were breaking down the set for a new pilot. They didn't even call Jamie Lee and I, we're the stars of the fucking show, that it was canceled. It was one of the most amazing downers.
Oh, I wish I had a video camera of her reaction.
Oh, she went ballistic like I did. I mean, it was just so...
Anger, rage. Who do I talk to?
Well,
they're in an ivory tower someplace. You can't reach them.
No, it was horrible. I'm glad that they...
And it was a great show, and she's terrific. I always think she's doing like yogurt commercials now.
Yeah,
very concerned about my poop, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Did she say that?
No, on the commercials, like how you're probiotics and get regular, and after 6 weeks...
I don't like to be regular.
No?
No, I like to have problems with my bowels.
Yeah.
It makes me feel alive.
Yeah.
It's just me.
That's how Elvis died, though. You got to time yourself. You get in there about 14, 15 minutes. You go, you know what? I'm not the king of rock and roll.
What about that high colonic stuff with the water flowing through your body? You ever do that?
You know what? It's so funny.
Mae West did it every day.
I want to. What?
Mae West, I heard, did it every day.
Well, that's what they told her they were doing to her.
Oh.
But Jamie Lee,
she's a good lady, man.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid watching Trading Places.
Hello.
I mean, that was the first time I saw a lady take her shirt off in movies, and I was like, whoa, that's the display model right there.
Yeah, forget about it.
And she, are you guys still in touch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please let her know she's a huge fan here.
Because of the breast?
No, just her whole
No, she's a good. I'm joking.
The way, I know what you meant. I know you're joking, but just like my wife and I, just the whole way she just gets after it, and you never see her at a party causing problems. She's never in the tabloids.
No.
Very high profile husband. They just kind of do their own thing, and they just keep trucking along and making a living, and
She's like the Derek Jeter.
She is number 2. Speaking of probiotics and poop.
What about Jeter? Jeter doesn't. He's never in the tabloid. You would know why.
It's insane.
How did he avoid that?
For
17 years.
How about this? Yeah. Derek Jeter, my dear listeners, the captain of the Yankees, the first year. Somehow, I can't believe I forgot what a big baseball fan you are.
No, huge sports fan.
How is Derek Jeter the first Yankee with 3,000 hits? That seems impossible.
It does, doesn't it?
Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. They all had to go fight in wars. They all had 4 years of their careers just ripped off to go fight the Japanese.
That's like 700, 800 hits they lost. Yeah. Well, Babe Ruth didn't go in the fucking war. He just went to the,
He went into the hot dogs.
Jesus, how did that guy do it, man?
How about he won 20 games twice?
People
go like, who's the greatest baseball player of all time? And you go like, well, I'm assuming you're putting Babe Ruth on the shelf, and we'll talk about him later, because as great as...
Nobody.
And as great as Willie Mays was, he never took the hill and threw 96 miles an hour.
Does he still have World Series records? As a pitcher? I think he might.
Babe?
Yeah. You don't know this?
No, I don't. Yeah, I know Yogi Berra's got all the hit records.
No.
For
Babe has World Series pitching records.
Most World Series wins is Whitey Ford with 10.
But he has other types of records.
Whitey Ford, most losses.
Most blowjobs in the dugout.
That's
in the seventh game.
David Cohn.
I made the engineer giggle.
That's Dave.
I went right to the blowjob.
Of course, the blowjob.
It's like a minute left. There's a minute left to go because I have a minute left in my
Asian girl holding a Zoom. All of a sudden, who knew her hot button was fellatio? would have thought it was Django or maybe one of the other Musketeers. Fellatio's the fourth. Sort of. Sometimes I like to drive my car into the oncoming traffic, and that's great, Wade. But if you'll excuse me, I'm due back on planet Earth. I want to tell you about my wife and yours bizarre connection. You were filming. No.
Well, I'm starting to melt.
What time is it? Well, we're coming up on it. You did, of course, Anything But Love with, and please pass along to Jamie Lee Curtis.
I'm going to do that.
Huge fans, and we have some.
If I make it out here alive, I'll call.
We have some mutual friends.
I know.
Anything But Love. You guys get canceled, right? My wife at 14 years old is doing a show with Jimmy Burrows directing it, and Gabby Hoffman, the girl.
Right.
It's her show. Patricia Heaton. She somehow winds up in your dressing room.
Mine?
Yeah.
How much booze did you find in there?
None.
Wow.
Better.
Coke?
From
I didn't do
where the
blood.
wall
Joking.
meets the ceiling, all the way down to the floor.
Uh-oh.
From one end to the other.
Not a piss stain.
Complete handwritten. Not one dot of wall did not have your handwriting on. Long.
Get
hand,
out of here.
long.
What was I writing on it?
Like fucking Crumb's brother. Like
That's so fucking hip.
Dennis Miller.
Oh.
This guy wrote on the walls so much. Looked like Crumb's brother. I'm waiting for Richard Lewis to call break and eat rope. Chip.
Yeah, I don't know. You just wrote on the walls like John Nash from like you were like
Who's John Nash again?
Beautiful Mind. There's a Russell Crowe movie.
Oh, right.
Jennifer Connelly. But
she's great.
I should just stuck with Crumb's brother.
Go on.
You wrote on the wall.
Is that Dennis's line or your line?
No, that was mine. That was on mine.
We just came up with that, right? That's why you're you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You wrote on the wall. There was not a single. You couldn't. She told me you couldn't circle an inch of wall that didn't have handwrite with a pen and a marker,
nuts, man.
like head left to right, up and down, backwards, up and down. Like, were you writing your?
Apologize to your wife when you get in bed.
No, it's fucking great. It's like
it's like fucking Birdman of Alcatraz,
bro.
When am I getting out of rehearsal,
bro?
Day one,
bro. Fucking seriously, the fucking story with the writing on the wall. I was with my wife. I said, "I'm gonna fucking smack you in the mouth." It's fucking amazing, right? It's for your Long Island crowd. What were you writing?
I don't know, man.
Your lines? Did you have to write out your lines?
No.
Like, why doesn't Patricia Heaton have a belly button? Like, what?
I wasn't in the show with Patricia Heaton.
I know, she came in next.
Yeah. I'm following your story.
I love it. Now you're right in it. Now you and I, this is when we should start. We really have to start this podcast. We have not even hit record yet.
I know. We'll do it again someday when there's air.
Well,
really, my testicles are shrunk. I have my throat is closing. Look, my dandruff is flying out of my hair. They're on air.
By the way, Richard Lewis, my sister Julie, when you first did your, I don't think it was your special. I think you were part of like a young comedian special.
I was in '81.
My sister
Smothers
Julie.
Brothers.
Huh?
Smothers Brothers hosted it.
They hosted it?
Yeah.
That's young.
One.
That's hip.
Anyway, let's get the two guys that worked on the Enola Gay. Post the thing about young comics. Okay. You know what better way to show the network you pulled your poster? All right.
Is that Leno? That sounded like Leno.
That's why I bailed out because it's supposed to be Dennis still. My sister Julie, madly in love with you. I just wanted to get that out. And you worked at a copyright place in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey?
Get this Wikipedia shit is driving me nuts. I did. I was a copywriter.
No, I heard this from the inside.
Yeah. It's big
I got
news.
People.
It was on top of a pizzeria. How's that?
How
small agency.
Did you work? Did you really work at a copyright place?
I had a million part-time jobs.
But in Hasbrook Heights.
Yeah.
And now that's where Bananas is.
It is?
That little comedy club Bananas in Hasbrook Heights. That I love. It's in a ballroom in a Holiday Inn. It's this couple that runs it.
The Holiday Inn.
They've done it forever.
Right off the highway?
Yeah. It's like it's. You want to talk about more than anybody, Richard Lewis. You can tell I do radio because I keep resetting your name.
Yeah,
like you're a new listener, just dialed in. Like, oh, who the fuck is this guy talking to? Even though it says Richard Lewis on their phone. Get the Mohr Stories app. Listen. Would you let me finish? Jesus Christ. Anyway. You know more than anybody. People really complicate winning. Like they really get way complicated. This couple that runs the Bananas in Hasbrook Heights, they have one in Fort Lee. They got one in upstate. Like literally, they put like a piece of wood down on the floor, and they set up the chairs, and they give you like cash, and they go. Just do like 55 minutes, and you're like, all right. And then when it's done, they pay you, and they're like, do you need a ride back to the city?
It's like the easy. I can't recommend it enough. Now you're obviously doing big theaters because you're hot shit.
I don't know about that. Walking on a wooden plank, man. What am I, Captain Hook?
You listen. Yes, listen. Bananas, Hasbrook Heights. I put my name on it. You're gonna love it.
Is there a dressing room? You got to go in the lobby.
No, they give you a hotel room upstairs. You get to go lay down and watch TV. You watch
take
Sports
the elevator
Center.
down, go on the wooden plank, get the cash, and either get a ride back to.
Or you go
New
back
York.
up to your room because you paused like some fucking gladiator movie.
I'll have flashbacks of my ex-college girlfriend and the job, the copywriting job. It's too much.
Your ex-girlfriend ran a Holiday Inn?
No, I lived with her for a while there.
What's that got to do with a Holiday Inn? What's that matter with you?
Because it's only down the block from where I used to live. I know the Holiday Inn you're talking about.
Hasbrook
I'm
Heights.
done with my past, man. I'm done.
That's
with
right.
therapy.
And you know
Done
what?
with
That's the advice I give everybody. Take the rear view mirror off your car.
That's right.
Only look forward.
And today.
Unless you have kids and you don't know where they are, then by all means.
But this has been a blast. Yeah,
you were on candid camera as a very young man.
Don't start this.
How old are you?
No, I'm gonna fuck. Huh? I was.
You were literally on candid camera at like 8 years old.
No, I was.
I saw it.
No, I was. You were 8, but I was. No, you weren't even born yet when I was. Actually, you weren't born. I was a sophomore in high school.
And you had a phony guidance counselor.
That's right. It was fucking hilarious. It really was.
I watched it.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's actually running on some cable.
It's on YouTube. Just look it up.
It is on YouTube.
Richard Lewis Candid Camera.
Oh.
You have a lot of YouTube things.
I've seen it. They have Candid Camera. That's worth a look. And watch the Rickles outtakes reel.
My wife wanted me to tell you. I had to write it down.
You can watch by the way,
yes, sir.
I hate to plug anything, but the Bundle of Nerves box set has a YouTube trailer on there, too. I just saw
of all YouTube things of you?
No, of the box set of all the 4 movies. It's sort of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And Bundle of Nerves, again, just the fact that the movie Drunks comes with this thing
I appreciate that.
is insane and great. And you were very good. And I would like you to do more dramatic acting. I'm sure you would too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anybody, Judd Apatow lives down the street. He listens to this while he walks his dogs.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, it never dawned on you to put me in a fucking movie? If you're laughing so hard at my goddamn podcast, you know what? I'll take myself out of the running, put Richard Lewis in.
Hey, that's why you're you. You give things away.
That's why you're you. My wife wanted me to tell you. At 14 years old, she was besotted with you. That was a word. I go, what? She goes, besotted. I go, I don't know what that means.
I have to look that up when I get home.
It's like in love, infatuated, like love, true love. And she said because you were like
Shakespearean.
You were older than her, and you were like you were like an insane genius.
Wow.
And you were like super handsome. And she was like completely taken that you wrote on the walls like a crazy man.
Wow. That's fucking great.
Yeah. So, by the way, being a comic, if you were divorced and had an 8-year-old, you would have been right up her alley.
Really?
That seems to be her.
That's what that happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
And one before me, too.
Yeah.
That seems to be like her thing.
It's her thing, so I blew it.
No, you're all right. There's time.
It was just
I want
bad
you to go
timing.
home and get your wife pregnant.
All right, I would do it.
My friend,
This
Richard
has been
Lewis.
a blast, babe. Really, I'm only ending it because I have no feeling from the waist down. Because I've been sitting in a 110-degree garage with a tremendous engineer who's a sweetheart, and I mean that.
Richard Lewis is Jewish.
Oh, well, you're bookending the show.
You have to.
With your anti-Semitism.
And
But you know what?
Anti-Semitism.
I'm
I stand
joking.
with Israel.
You have to.
You know, you can't get to the New Testament without going to the Old Testament.
Thank you.
You know what?
And Adam was bar mitzvahed, by the way.
Just because you turn your backs on the King of Kings, whatever.
No.
And by the way,
he was a Jew. He didn't want to go to Yom Kippur services. He didn't want to fast.
So they whacked him, and that's that.
No, the
There's
Romans
nothing
whacked him.
Thank you.
A jealous pizzeria owner who wasn't getting laid, and Jesus was gorgeous. That's my feeling.
I said that to Joan
It could be the Romans.
Up the street, I said to Joan Rivers, and she asked me if she could use it in her act. I go, the Jews didn't kill Christ. The Romans killed Christ.
I said it myself.
But the Jews just stood by and went,
Well, they were tired. It was
not wearing shoes.
They were all in a garage, like I'm fucking in a garage, and they wanted to get home.
All right. Richard Lewis needs to go home, but I need you guys to get Bundle of Nerves. And look,
this is a blast, by the way.
The people know that listen to this.
Yeah.
If I tell them, like, hey, he's got Bundle of Nerves, and I just keep going over it, they know. Like, Carol Leifer was here, and her book is, like, amazing.
Wow.
If you want to know, like, great backstage stand-up opening
cool.
for Sinatra, I told them, like, you got to get it.
Wow.
Bundle of Nerves. There's an expression around here, Richard Lewis. Put your name on it. Head coach of the Jets, Herman Edwards, back in the day,
Right.
they kept peppering him with questions, and they go, yeah, but sources say. And he goes, sources say. And he goes, oh, what is this, sources? Put your name on it. Be a man or a woman, put your name on it. And that was my favorite thing of all time that he ever said. So we have an expression around here, put your name on it.
Wow,
I'm putting my name on it. Bundle of Nerves. You can get DVD. Look, we're going to get fucking Game of Thrones again for somebody else because you scratched the other one. Do you really need it on Blu-ray? Get Bundle of Nerves. You're going to see
Hall of Famer Richard Lewis, and the movie Drunks. I can't emphasize enough because they used to make movies where people talk and have feelings and have to express themselves without like a fucking chupacabra flying through a wall with wings.
A chupacabra.
That's a Mexican mythical beast that eats goats as you sleep.
I should have known that too.
All right. Any impressions you want before we go? Because you were talking about mine.
Well, I won't ask for steadily through your career, but it's hard for a lot of comics, certainly myself, to get. I mean, I had a great run and had some good shows, but I mean, you know, you're not going to put me as you could play like Benjamin Franklin. I couldn't.
I could.
Yeah, in a second.
You know, I've always wanted to play Chet Baker.
Really?
That's the big one.
You look a lot like him, by the way.
Let's get lost in each other's arms.
Wow.
He had that androgynous voice.
Yeah.
Got his teeth kicked out by heroin dealers.
I know.
But now I'm too old. I have a gut. It'll go to some
you
young.
have to get a little. You have to lose about 20 pounds to play Chet Walker.
Yeah, that's
Could you
one.
do those shots of him in a Cadillac, and it's just amazing.
I'd love to play Carlin.
Wow,
that'd be a big one. But I think that's got like Joseph Gordon-Levitt written all over, Ryan Gosling written all over it. I think they do a good job at it.
I think
a lot of physicality if you play Carlin. You know, like his stand-up, it's a lot. It's very
all the facial stuff.
Yeah, very specific, don't you think?
Yeah,
like it's
it
very.
is.
It's not like a guy just standing there talking.
But an amazing life he had. I mean, you know, he went through a lot of different changes. You know,
you too. Who would play you? Who? Seriously, I know that's like a hacky like PR question, but who? Like, can you think of somebody that could play you? Sarah Silverman. She'd be a good Richard Lewis.
She could probably pull it off. Sarah.
She's a good actress.
She is a good actress.
Yeah.
No, she's doing great. No, I don't know. I don't even. You know, there was a book out about 5 years ago called "I'm Dying Up Here" that I talked about being a comic here in L.A. in the '70s.
You built like a brick shed house.
55. What are you nuts?
You look you
know,
look fantastic.
You told me I was too thin, so you made.
I said
you look
thin.
Down with
I said, are you all right?
Thin or fat? I think
thin.
So
I've never seen an old fat person.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I see a lot of old skinny minis walking around.
By the way, I think I should be your Ed McMahon. I like the flow of this show.
You think you should be? You're my Ed McMahon?
I think not. You know, I'm in my 60s. I've done everything I wanted to do. I'm fucking tired.
Who's next coming up? We got some good people coming up.
I'm semi-joking because I have a tour that opens up in Israel.
Really?
Yeah, Israel, and then Melbourne, and then somewhere in the Mideast. And then
you're really going to Israel?
No, I'm just.
Oh, I don't know.
I was told once. You ever hear this? I think Lou Reed or Dylan or all these guys. They just said, don't tell the truth. I think Warhol once said, don't ever tell the truth.
Jackie Gleason was a big thing on that, too. He'd always, like, reinvent, like, create
just
different...
bullshit. You know, I'm not with you. I mean, you know...
You could bullshit with me. I don't mind.
But just to lie.
I know you're Jewish.
Forget the Jewish. What is this, a Klansman rally?
Yes.
Relax, Pat.
Yes.
No, But what do you think about that? All the publicity we have to do, all these decades, you know, after a while, it's like, why do you wear black? Because, you know, I'm half black and half, Asian. Just say it, and they go, really? And they write the shit down.
I'm always in mourning. I'm always,
Yeah, anything like that.
I understand in high school you were home... What's that, Jeff Ross? All right! Mohr Stories podcast. It's number 200 and something. I think you're up in the 260s at this point. Richard Emmanuel Lewis.
That is my real name.
No, what is your real name?
You know, I've never disclosed it until now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on your Wikipedia page.
No. Philip?
Yeah.
That Wikipedia thing. Who wrote that? Some
on
Klansman for me?
Well,
it's all bullshit.
I think it might be, because on your Wikipedia page it says Richard Lewis is Jewish. It actually
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What about the Native American part? That was nearly bullshit.
I always thought you were a Southern Baptist and you learned your comedy because you were raised by such, Bible-thumping people that knew the struggle.
Yeah.
But no, the fact remains you are, in fact, Jewish. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Richard Lewis's act. Never mentions it.
I don't actually say the word Jew. I'm proud of being a Jew. I'm proud. I'm just proud to be alive, Jay. To be honest with you. By the way, great studio. What is it called? The Fake Mustache.
Fake Mustache Studios. You like it?
It's gorgeous.
All the pictures of mustache people on the wall.
That woman looks very familiar.
Yeah, it's my bride.
I know.
Some weird Maxim shoot, so she signed it like it's a goof. Thanks for being a fan.
She's a beautiful woman.
You're a very beautiful man. By the way, Richard Lewis, for 55 years old, has a great bit about lying on your resume. Like, wow, home run king of the Negro Leagues. Tell us about that.
That's hilarious.
It's like one of those jokes. Every comedian has like a line, There's like a half dozen comedians that have a line that you're like, how did I not write that? Like, that's just too perfect.
No,
I would have hit it eventually. You have a DVD out. Any fan of comedy should definitely get Bundle of Nerves with Richard Lewis. And what surprised me was that the actual movie Drunks is in it.
Yeah, because it got screwed up distribution-wise, and I really was bummed out about it. You can't find it, you can't get it anywhere, so they put it in.
It's a great movie.
Thank you. It's a great acting movie.
Ellen Burstyn. Yeah, people don't like movies these days where you actually have to like talk and have feelings. They want to see Spider-Man bounce off a police car.
I'm hip.
And
Faye Dunaway and Diane Wiest and Edward Rollins and Spalding Gray and all these, and I show up as a junkie, which I held my own, I think, but it was...
No, you did really well, and that's, that feeds into, we talk about this a lot on the podcast, is for some reason comics, I really believe that really good comics will always make good dramatic actors. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's too generationally, that's a good word, huh? Like Milton Berle would show up on our TV show when I was a kid, and I think he won an Emmy. I mean, people can do that shit because we have a lot of dark shit, and I think, I don't know. You've worked.
Hello, podcast fans. Adam Carolla here. I'm leading the fight against patent trolls who are threatening this medium. It's not about me. It's about the podcast you're listening to right now. If I go down, this show could be next. Visit fundanything.com/patent troll for more information on how you can keep podcasting alive. Thank you and mahalo.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Galson.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man.